District Master Planning process. The Port of Kennewick has engaged the services of Makers Architecture and Urban Design to help the port commissioners and staff work through the community's vision for their waterfront district going forward for the next 10+ years. This is a process where we look to work and plan with the community, not for the community. We seek your input through this process, this open house process that we're utilizing during this COVID pandemic, trying new tools to reach out and gather the community's input. And this is one of those tools that we'll be utilizing for the next couple of weeks. With that, I'd like to turn this over to the Makers team for their quick introduction and to get this rolling.
Thank you, Larry. I'm Erica. Hi, everybody. I am one of the project team members from Makers. I am the project manager on this project and am working alongside Beth and Julie, who are also on this call with us. Thank you so much for being here with us. Just to introduce the team here, like I said, Julie and Beth on the right-hand side of your screen are also on the call and are happy to answer any questions as we go through. And we are working with the Port of Kennewick staff, obviously Larry, who you just heard, as well as Tim and Tana, who have been an amazing help along this project. Thank you for your participation. And I'm going to jump in without further ado. So today's project purpose and today's goals, as Larry mentioned, are to update the Clover Island plan and tie into the greater district. So in previous efforts, the focus of much of the planning has really been on Clover Island itself. And this will be a new approach to planning in the area, in part that it'll really take into account additional port properties along Columbia Drive. We will also be identifying future uses of that port-owned property. We'll be responding to the area's evolving and changing context, and we'll be positioning the district to meet port and community objectives. So to get us started, today's goals are really to review the recent historic waterfront district changes and initial outreach findings, and walk through the open house activities that you all and your connections will be able to be engaged with over the course of the next few weeks, as Larry mentioned. So to that end, regarding where we are in our outreach right now, we at the Makers side of the office, in conjunction with the port staff, have been involved in a numerous amount of interviews to date regarding what local businesses, local community groups are concerned with and excited about for this district. And so we're really looking forward to layering on all of your input into theirs to create a vision for the future of this space. So the project focus area is really outlined in these red zones along the plan here. So these are the port-owned properties. As you can see, it encompasses almost the entirety of Clover Island, except for a small area to the south, which is the Coast Guard's property. And then along Columbia Drive, you have the Willows, which is the area furthest to the north, which is at the conjunction of Clover Island Drive and Columbia Drive. Then moving south, you have what is now developing as the new winery area. And then as you move south, you have the Cable Greens, which is the most park-like and natural of those three parcels.
Hey, Erica, I'm pretty sure that north is up in this, and so
I'm sorry.
You're moving along
West.
Yeah, you're moving east.
East.
For those of you who obviously are more connected to the geography of the area, should clear
Right.
things up.
That is very, very true. Thank you, Julie. So we're going to run through a brief overview of some of the history of the planning that has happened on site. Obviously, we are not the first group to come and assist you all with developing this area. A ton has happened to date, and we're going to be building upon those historical planning efforts. So in 2003, the planning in this area really came underway with the Bridge to Bridge, River to Railroad plan, followed by the Clover Island Shoreline, the Clover Island Master Plan, which is how makers became involved in this area, followed by the Shoreline Improvements Plan, which has led to a ton of the amazing improvements that you've all seen along the shoreline today. The Columbia Drive Revitalization Plan in 2010, the Willows A Project Pattern Language Plan of 2011, followed by Duffy's Pond Park Expansion and Pathway Systems Completion Plan, the Clover Island Environmental Assessment, and the traffic calming along Columbia Drive. There have been numerous and really wonderful implemented projects within the scope of our area. You have beautiful arts and recreation. There's been sculptures, murals, and other public art and interpretive signage that is really integrated beautifully throughout the island. There's improvements to the Sacagawea Heritage Trail, additional trails on Clover Island and around Duffy's Pond, as you can see in that image to my right, soon to yours as well, which really is a beautiful, beautiful job of integrating improved ecological sort of habitat along the water's edge with open space for the community and improved ecology for all of the native wildlife in the area. The Sacagawea Heritage Trail obviously goes along the levee and has been greatly used by everyone who's been home and able to access outdoor space during this challenging time. You have the lighthouse, which I know has become a local icon. We've heard really wonderful feedback about. And then, as mentioned, the beautiful artwork that is integrated throughout the context of this environment. There's also been some wonderfully successful development in this area. There's new mixed-use buildings and a new marina. There's the new wine village at Columbia Gardens that has really brought in a wonderful new culture of wineries, food trucks, and the very new addition of a farm stand in the center of the Columbia Drive area. And we've heard nothing but wonderful things from the tenants of these spaces, and they're very excited to see what the ongoing development is going to be. So initial feedback, as I mentioned, we've been talking to a ton of folks in the community, trying to get a sense for everything that we should before diving into any type of set plan for the further development of this area. Some of the first impressions that we've heard are that the summer concert series at the Clover Island Inn is very popular. People love it. They love coming together. Folks really have a strong connection to Kennewick and the culture that's there, and they feel that those outdoor events have helped to harness and bring community together. The island itself gets a lot of boat traffic, obviously, and that parking is limited during those peak times, so we need to be very cognizant of that as we move forward. Like I said, the lighthouse is a main attraction. People love coming to take photos after their wedding receptions, after and before prom, just a beautiful date spot, all sorts of things that have really been centered around that location. That the new wine village and food truck areas have really brought in some new energy to the space and have been really popular and exciting for that. And that even with this newness, there are still some concerns about people not feeling so safe in the area at night. And that is something that we really do want to try to address within this plan and create a vibrant space that will deter that kind of activity. And that finally, and I think almost most importantly for the feedback, is that this area really retains the variety of unique and local businesses, that this continues to be a wonderful representation of Kennewick's culture at large, and that this area can foster and increase those entrepreneurship opportunities. the suggestions that we've heard so far from people. And as part of this open house and ongoing activities, we'd love to hear from you as to whether these are things that you agree with and would also suggest for them. So in the recreation department, we've heard that completing the trails and improving walkability is going to be really critical, that folks want a space where they can come and walk and be with their families and explore on foot. They also have thought that the addition of a kids play area or water feature would really make the area more family friendly, that they'd like to have additional food trucks on Clover Island or seasonal food options that would both complement and support those that are on site today. And then they'd also like the addition of more eateries throughout the Columbia Drive or coffee shops. We've heard brewery, things that could really foster just diversity in what's offered in the area. And then regarding culture and retail, we've heard that people have an appetite for more art and ways to display that art. There's been discussion of more retail shops that work in tandem with the wine village, and then more connection and stronger to Kennewick's downtown. And I know that this has been an ongoing effort that the city's been involved in for a long time, and we, looking at this district, want to be very careful that our project plays well into the greater city's efforts to connect this new and upcoming waterfront district to Kennewick's historic downtown. So I'm going to jump into the project schedule. I know there may be questions. I'm just going to kind of run through everything, and then at the end there will be time for you all to ask if there are any burning ones that you'd like to discuss. So right now, as you can see, we are in the phase 1 or assessment phase of this. Is again where we've been doing just interviews, we've been having group discussions, and then as you can see where the gold stars are, we're going to be doing an online survey, an open studio, and a work session. So that's where we are today. Our next phase will be the alternatives, where we will take all this input that we've received, we'll synthesize that, and we'll try to develop 2 alternatives that speak to all of the concerns that you've brought to our attention and that highlight specific areas of interest and need for the greater community. We'll then take those alternatives and bring them back to you to make sure that they reflect and we heard appropriately the concerns and visions that you have for this area, and get your feedback again at the closure of that portion to integrate into our phase 3 master plan, which will be in late fall into early spring. Well, we'll pull all of that together, have another round of opportunity for you to see this, review that plan, have it reviewed by the port before it is finalized and handed over in spring of 2021. So, as you know, we have a project website. We would really, really, really appreciate if you would share this project website with your entire community, your coworkers, your family, your friends, and get out the word that we're doing this. As you know, we're in a challenging circumstance with COVID and we can't be with you, which is what we would really like. And so we have to do this remotely, and it then really puts more pressure on making sure that this site is spread widely so that we can get that input. So again, this is me, Erica. You can reach out to me at any time if you have any questions. I am always, always happy to respond. And then we have our powerhouse technical person, Beth, who is also a planner on the team. You can see her beautiful face on the side panel as well. And if you have any technical concerns, anything comes up, Beth is your girl. She will be the one to better assist you than I can. So with that, I think Beth was looking to see if there are any questions. There's also a chat if you guys have any questions you'd like to log in there. And if there are none, I'm going to pass it on to Beth to walk through our exercises now.
All right. Any questions at all on any of the initial feedback or things that Erica has just spoke about? I'll stop sharing the screen and let you think about that for just a moment. We're definitely open to all of your questions. All right, let me just share my screen again. All right, so I'm just wanting to walk you all through the different tools that we are using for this awesome project here. And so right now what we're looking at is the project webpage that you all came on to get this, the information to join our meeting today. Wanted to just kind of do some orientation around the Port's website. Anything that we've discussed today, what Erica was talking about with all the Port's projects, can be found by going to the projects link here. And it has even more information about all of the different stuff that they've been doing over the years, including all the development, the recent development at Columbia Gardens and the Willows and Cable Greens. Those are the two ones that are around Columbia Drive as well. Just a resource for you to go to. But wanted to point out on our project webpage, all the exciting stuff that you can interact with. So if you go down to the share your ideas area, there's 3 different ways that you can opt in to share your feedback. There's a way that you can just take the survey and you can do it within this window, fill out all the questions. It's really pretty simple. But you can also click on these 2 to actually go further and provide feedback on 2 different other big ways. So just clicking into the map area here, this would be a mapping tool that kind of helps you to put your comments about the project spatially. So I'm just going to walk you through the tool here. So you can just click out of that and you'll see that this is downtown Kennewick. The historic downtown Kennewick is over here. And right now we're looking at Clover Island, and you're able to zoom in or zoom out. And there's already some informational icons here that tells you a little bit about the area. Sometimes it actually shows some pictures. So this one is an aerial photo of showing the view west to Clover Island and the whole waterfront district, as we're calling it. But the cool part about this is the fact that you can put your comment in. So you go up to this button up here that says add comment, and you have a bunch of different options to choose from. So say I would like to add something about recreation. I would like a park, and I would like a park right out here in this area, probably, let's say a kid's water park. And so then all you would have to do is just type in your comment. I'd love to see a kid's water park here. And then you go ahead and type in your email address, agree to the terms. And if you would like, you can also attach a photo if you want to say, hey, I'd like this specific water feature here, that kind of a thing. Add your comment, and lo and behold, there it is. And the great part about moving through all this is that you can read other people's comments, and you can, like this one. Let's see. I'm not sure if yeah, I think I like that comment. So you can just click like. You can actually share it with Facebook or Twitter, and you can actually engage in a discussion about that comment. So all of the different comments all throughout this area are things that you can engage with, things that you can look in. It's a way for you to really engage in a discussion with other people at your own leisure. So you can come back in a few days even and see that there should be some more comments, which would be fun to just interact with. you can see that the Port of Kennewick property has been highlighted in these different colors, just so that you can understand that that's what this project is focused on. And you can also, if you would like to, you can toggle on and off different layers, including if you did, like for instance, if you didn't want to see the bike or pedestrian paths, that kind of a thing. So there's lots of different ways for you to comment on this one area that we're focusing on here. I'm going to just pause for a moment and see if any of you have any questions just about this map tool.
Hi, I have a question.
Sure.
So how did you actually get to the map again?
Good question. Oh, let me just get back there. So you can, I'll just return to the project page to show you. So this would be the Port of Kennewick's project page for this Waterfront District Master Plan. You go down to this area down here where you share your ideas, and you click on this interactive comment map.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll just open up a new window, and then we can see that. Any other questions? At any time, you can also, you can share this tool with anybody, and then you can also have this translated if English is not your first language, so feel free to use the tools that are here.
Hi, Beth. Could you show me how you got to, you were clicking some boxes to show the walkways, bicycle paths, or?
Sure. So this little area right here is you can toggle things on and off. So if all the bike paths and walking paths is too much, just click it on and off.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to move on, but we can always double back and answer questions in a little bit. So just to familiarize you now with the sidebar over here on your left, this About tab right here just gives you all the different directions like I just had talked to you about. It's just a way to have it be right there so that you can see the instructions and follow through on them. If I, without my lovely voice to guide you. There's also a way for you to look at all the feedback that's on the map just by scrolling through. You don't have to actually individually go to each of the comments, so you can look at that all that way. And this is another way that you can access the survey that we have on the main project page. You can also access it through this map project. So feel free to fill that out. We're definitely looking for all of your feedback on every single tool. So, and the next one is the ideas wall. So that is actually something that you can get to from this main project page. And you can also get to it through here. There's a link to it. So let's just take you to the ideas wall. So this ideas wall, its purpose is to kind of capture everything that the map may not be able to. So we have some instructions over here. We're looking for, 3 major buckets, if you will. We want to figure out what one word you would use to describe this area of Kennewick. So for instance, some people have listed potential. This area has a lot of potential. And so what you would do is close this out, and you click on the one word icon here, and you'd be able to fill that out. So potential. And just fill in all your information as the same as you did with the mapping project and submit it. And there are 2 other questions that we are also asking. We want to know, what is the one most important change that this plan could accomplish? And also, if there's anything else that you would like to convey that would help to make this a great plan. And the easy part is that you just click on these just to note, kind of to categorize the comment that you're giving, and just fill it all in. And the great part is that you can continue the discussion, people have already been discussing about this one comment. So this is a way for you to interact with other people's comments, and vice versa. People can talk about your comments. You know, I would like to make this all bikes, no cars at all, and say I put that comment in, and then people can, you know, talk about it and say, you know, actually I like cars, let's keep that. So it's a great way to just have a conversation, kind of like a Post-it note board where you just put up all your great ideas. Does anybody have any questions about the ideas wall?
Does anybody want to volunteer their one word or major project win, just so we have an example that Beth can put in?
How about one word?
You can do me, Beth, so we'll know
Yes.
it. You can take it out. How about how do we say connected to the water? That's 3 words, 4 words.
How about water connection? We'll just make it 2.
Yeah, there you go. Put a dash in. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll just put it under mine
Okay.
and then press share with us. And there it is.
So there you go. So anybody who's on there right now, if you think that's a bad idea, you can give me the thumbs down. If it's a great idea, you can give me the thumbs up.
And with each of these tools, you can always return back to the project page. This is an easy way. Both of them have the buttons at the bottom, and that will take you always back to this main page. That would give you continued information. So I'm happy to walk through any other questions, any of the tools, just letting you know how things work.
And Beth, how long can people access these?
This open house will be available between August 3rd and August 16th, just for 2 weeks. And we also have another open house virtual walkthrough like this we're here right now with. That's going to be next Tuesday, the 11th at noon. And we would love to have you share it with all your friends, share it to social media. A lot of different places have been picking it up, so we'd love to spread the word. We're looking for as many comments as possible. And let me just put up our email addresses again. So this is, you can definitely check in with us and make sure to write down the project webpage and share it. We're always here for your questions, but having that feedback by the map wall, the survey, and the ideas wall is the best way to leave feedback for this project.
Could you tell me, do you have a Facebook page?
We do not. The port does not have a Facebook page, but you're more than welcome to share this information on your own Facebook page.
Okay. I think this is very exciting. I haven't been down to this area in many, many years. And it looks like wonderful.
Yeah.
Much prettier than it has ever been in the past.
Indeed, I agree with you. I just recently went back for a visit, and it has changed. You should definitely go down and check it out.
Yeah, just this session has inspired me to go take a look.
Yeah.
It's probably been 10 years since I've been down in that area.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm very interested in nature. So is in your planning some specific areas for observing nature? I saw some photos with all the waterfowl and eagles and so forth.
Sure, there's a lot of areas there with great views to the water that's out here, and sometimes you can see some birds out there and whatnot. There's also this this newly vegetated walkway that the port has done.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be continued around on the north side as well, but for right now, this is fully grown in, lush vegetation. It's beautiful. There's a lot of little viewing nooks that you can just hang out at and see all the wildlife.
Okay, so I do like to walk. Is there a designated parking area, and then are there maps for the various trails or pathways?
There are quite a few parking areas. Specifically on Clover Island, you have just one out on the northwest end. That's
Okay.
a gravel parking lot. A lot of times, especially right now in this season, there's going to be a lot of boat trailers there. But there's parking all across Clover Island, so that would be really easy to walk.
What
And
about from Columbia Park?
from Columbia Park, which is way over here, you can actually just walk on the Sacagawea Heritage Trail.
Oh, okay.
It's all connected. The trail is all through on the levee, so it will get you right there.
All right. I'm not sure that I'm familiar with much parking there by Columbia Drive, other than the businesses that are along there.
Yes. Well, there's actually parking available at the Willows right here. There's no development on there at this time, but that's
Okay.
designated a trailhead. And you can also just check into the Columbia Gardens, get some wine while you're there, and look at the beautiful Duffy Pond.
This is so different.
It is. It is. And that's another reason why we included some other pictures, because this map, this aerial that we're looking at, is a little bit dated. So things have changed. There's a lot more development on there. So it's quite changed.
This is perfect for COVID time. Just
Yes.
for all these new things that you're putting into place. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Any last minute questions?
I have one.
Sure.
So after your meeting on the 11th, are you guys going to be announcing more meetings like this or similar type virtual meetings?
We are only doing 2 live walkthroughs of all these open house tools, just this one and the one on the 11th. That's for this open house period. And the recording of this tonight is going to be available on the website. So good question. So that people can watch it and walk through the tools with you with the recording, but in the meantime, while we're not live with you. And then after this period, after the open house closes, they will definitely want to stay tuned to the project webpage, because that is where you're going to find the most up-to-date information about the next opportunities for you to join in all the feedback.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I would also say, if any of you would like us to send this material to anyone, or there are groups that you'd like us to reach out to, feel free to reach us at any time. We are very happy to communicate out this project information to more folks in the community. So we're excited to talk to you guys more.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for attending. And
any final words from the port to close us down here?
Again, this is a unique tool that we're utilizing to capture the outreach and the input from the citizens. It's a little bit different. That's why we have this video tonight that will be shared to help people walk through the process, even though we may not be with you at 10:30 on a Wednesday night or at 2:30 in the morning when a great idea comes to you. But this is more intended to capture how to use the tools. And it was great to have some questions, because we could actually walk through with some folks. So the main purpose for tonight was to explain the tools that are available. Now you can share with all of your friends and family, and if you can, direct them to our website. There are a variety of ways to capture input, whether that's survey, the idea wall, or geographically with the map. So looking at my telephone and talking to you guys. So I'm still working on the video part of these things. Port of Kennewick, our commissioners, our executive director, We're excited, we're seeking your input, and again, the focus is planning with the community, not just for the community.
Awesome. Thanks, Larry. All right. Just let us know if you have any further questions, and we will talk to you later. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great
Good
evening.
night.